Our next guest is hoping to go from a star on the football field to a star in the political arena. Former ESPN analyst Craig James announcing he's running for the U.S. Senate in Texas. But it will not be easy. Several other establishment candidates are vying for that same seat. Republican Senate candidate Craig James joins us this morning from Dallas. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Nice to see you this morning, Craig.
Thank you very much. I now, after watching your show, I know not what to re-gift. I got to be careful of things I got that I didn't necessarily want.
If you have any bad gifts, please send them to my co-host, Dave. I got to ask you about jumping into the Senate race, Craig, because a lot of people wondering, how are you going to pull this off? I mean, let's talk about an uphill battle here, right? The amount of money already being hefted on some of these other candidates right now, and a recent poll out is not looking favorable upon you. However, I guess you weren't even in the race yet when this poll was taken, but this is a mountain to climb. Craig, why are you doing this?
Well, I think to understand me a little bit, you would understand why I'm doing this. I grew up in an apartment boy. I came home in the third grade and I saw the yellow piece of paper on the apartment door that said eviction notice. Of course, I didn't know what that meant, but when my mother got home from work as a single parent, she told me that she couldn't pay the rent and we had to move. I didn't like that lesson, Clayton, nor the number of times that we had to move throughout my schooling years. But I ate a lot of mayonnaise-only sandwiches and ketchup-only sandwiches, and for variety, I went and put them together. What America gave me the opportunity to do was to work my way out of that, maybe provide for my family some things that I didn't have growing up. You know, our country is changing. Washington is off its rails. I'm living on Real Street. I understand this. For 30 years, I've been in business. I've started jobs and created jobs. I understand the economy in our world. I want to take that fresh perspective of reality to Washington.
Let's talk about fresh. You certainly understand the realities of certain situations down there in Texas, and those wounds are still fresh from Texas Tech and what happened there. Of course, your son, famously playing for Texas Tech, suffering a concussion. And then that's when, after he was allegedly put in a darkened closet, as Coach Mike Leach at the time said, to protect him, you went then and complained to the school. Mike Leach loses his job. And folks in that neck of the woods not terribly happy with you. How do you overcome that?
Well, it's simple. We supported our son. There are no allegations. It is indisputable amongst players, coaches, trainers, doctors. Everyone there knew Adam had a concussion. And on back-to-back practices, Mike Leach ordered him put in dark solitary confinement. You can't do that to a human being. So, you know, as people have found out what happened, they understand. Now, there's some who just don't want to open their eyes and understand reality. We supported our son. And what does that mean to me? People want to know, what can I do for them, for the economy? What can I do in Washington? What qualifies me to represent them in this great state of Texas? I will do this. I know for a fact, and people know me, that I'll stand against evil. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It's never right to do wrong.
We have a little bit of time left, and Craig, I want you to take a look at the front runner right now, because this is a war chest. This is the current front runner. 50% of that vote in that, or 50% of that most recent poll, Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst down there. He's a current Lieutenant Governor of Texas on his resume. U.S. Air Force, CIA, State Department, net worth at least $200 million. He's raised $2.64 million in the third quarter. How do you overcome that?
You know what, I'm going to share with people where I come from, what I've done, real street perspective that I have, a fresh perspective that I have. I don't need someone to explain to me what this economy means. I'm living in real time here. I think it's unfortunate that in the past, many times, people have been able to use their wealth to buy a seat at the table in Washington. We have to change that. Having governmental experience, being a politician, a career politician, just doesn't work. It's why we're in the pickle we're in right now. That's why I've gotten out of my comfort zone, out of the things that I've enjoyed, and I'm going to take that to Washington to make a change, to make a difference.
One of the things you enjoy is football, and with the few seconds we have left, LSU or Alabama, on the record, Craig, go.
I'm going to go roll, but it's going to be roll Tigers. I think LSU gets it done again. Too much power on that defense, but it'll be a great game. Les Miles and his team, I think they win it.
On the record, Craig James, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Have a great new year.
All right, Clayton, you too.
And we should also note we invited Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst on the show, but we did not get a response from his camp.